Here's something that so I've been talking to a lot of people that are saying I'm not sure if I still find joy in the same things anymore, or like the stuff that I used to do. It's like not hitting the same way for me. And I was just thinking about this in my own life yesterday, actually, because I've raced bikes for many years, and I'm starting to ride a bit more this summer, and I'm in shape enough that I think I could race. And I was like, ooh, should I go do a bike race? I've done like 10,000 races in my life, and it's like, um, and then we're building up. I'm helping my wife build up her QHHT practice, and I was getting probably. So I did a bike ride yesterday, and then I was doing a lot of just like scheduling with people on the phone, and I was like, I'm enjoying like these moments where I'm like scheduling people. Like I'm excited that they're gonna get something out of this, and I'm like thinking about how awesome it's gonna be for them to have their life healed and changed in some ways. And then when I think about bike racing, I'm like, where's the juice? It would be fun, like all that stuff, but like it wasn't the same as my obsession when I was younger. I remember just like looking through the bike catalogs and being like, oh, look at that bike. It's like bike porn. Um, and so when you're talking about what is the soul's blueprint of how you find joy, I'm hearing a lot of people are that's the activities that they're finding joy in are shifting for them. Yeah, have you guys noticed that same thing, or like how does the blueprint of joy fit into that?
I can say, when you're talking about that, Derek, it makes me think of work I do with clients and students. And it's typically people who's, I'm going to say, are shifting their consciousness uh, from more of the human material world into their greater consciousness, their infinite self, their intuition, people who are wanting to consciously connect with and strengthen their own intuition, their own awareness of their interconnectedness. There seems to be a tendency or a trend, and this isn't, for everybody, but it does seem to be a tendency or a trend naturally that the things that and here's what's always I know for me, here's what's always tough. There are things that used to resonate with me brilliantly, that if you would have asked me 10 years ago about gardening, I would have been like, I'm passionate about it. Absolutely passionate about it. Today, if I think of going out and gardening, I'm like, oh my God, that's a lot of work. I think I just want to go on a walk and grab a few eucalyptus leaves and come in and put them on the stove to steam the house up. And then I get to experience the plants in that way. But like the idea of going out and like spending 6 hours in the yard gardening, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that today. I'm not passionate about it. So our our passions just naturally change, or our desires or our joy or the things that we resonate with naturally change. I think what's tough, especially as people start waking up again, thousands of words and phrases used to describe this, having more awareness of their greater consciousness, aligning more with love, being more intuitive, recognizing the multidimensional realm. The more we do this, the more we recognize that honestly, we're constantly shifting and changing. We're literally, change is what's always happening. Change is sort of a natural process. It's ongoing. And when we kind of wake up, we might recognize that we're kind of constantly evolving, something that we were doing 2 years ago, we may not have the excitement for. And now it's really about this part that's really more refined and specific about this over here. And then that's exciting for the next 6 months until it evolves into something else. And so it can be tough because there's sort of I'm going to say, a collective agreement where everyone's like, depending on where you grow up on the planet, what your culture is, but I'm just going to say the Western world or the US, where it's like, you're going to grow up, you're going to graduate high school, you're going to go to college or technical school, then you're going to come out, then you're going to go get a job, and then you're going to go work at that job your whole life. And then you're going to retire, hopefully, by the age of 60 or 65. And so when that becomes like a collective belief, there's this idea that we have to do that. And then there has this tendency to be a feeling that something's wrong with this if that doesn't feel natural. Or if that's not happening for us. I went and got my landscape architecture degree in my 20s and then realized about 15 or 20 years in, I was kind of done with it and I loved it. but I was done with it. But then there can be a feeling of something's wrong with me. I should keep doing this. I'm supposed to. Everyone agrees that it would be crazy if I stopped doing this. So everyone's sort of collective ideas are you do the thing, you become good at it, you do it your whole life, then you stop, then you retire. And so the other thing is, a lot of the people that we work with, they're coming into awareness that they're constantly changing, they're constantly evolving. And so staying present with that in the framework of a collective humanity that kind of would have us believe we just do one thing our whole lives and be happy with it. That can be strange and unsettling. And when we start honoring it in ourselves, Michael and I do this, we recognize how quickly we change. Derek, you may have experience with this yourself. We come up with an inspiration and we have a conversation about it. We feel into it and we start sort of developing it. As we're developing it, thinking it's going in a certain direction, it literally morphs into something different we didn't expect. Then we start kind of moving in that direction. Then it morphs again. And that process used to take about 6 months. Today, it takes about a week. And at the end of the week, we'll go, oh my God, that thing changed 3 times. And it's just, if you stay with it, if you stay present with it, it happens quickly. And so I think, for me, I can see that there's a human part of me that gets a little sad. Oh, I don't love gardening like I used to. What's wrong oh, I miss that part of me that just loved Okay. And it's just not true for me anymore. I'd rather just pick a few plants and put them in a vase in the house and be like, oh, they look so pretty.